Hello everyone, and peace to you all. Today we are going to speak about some of the amazing stories which mentioned in the Quran, and there is no one really can imagine how wonderful the Quran is. I mean, this Quran is full of a treasure, and today we are going to dig a little bit with some treasure. We cannot share all of it together, otherwise you will vomit. So we are going to give you a little bite. So let us see. We mentioned before that the Quran speaks about Sulaiman. He used to have a flying carpet, and I'm sure many of you like flying carpet. And actually, me myself, I used to own one when I used to be in the Middle East, but when I came to America, they stole it from in front of my house. True story. Now, the flying carpet in the Quran is real. It is not something imaginary. Islam teach that Sulaiman, he used to have a flying carpet, and this flying carpet can carry all the kingdom of Sulaiman, and in some interpretation they say 600,000 chairs plus all his soldiers plus all his animals, elephants, camels, cars, no cars at that time, but whatever bikes he have at that time, fit with his time. So and the Muslims agree with that. This is the interpretation of Ibn Kathir in English translation. However, remember that Ibn Kathir in English is not even 5% of Ibn Kathir in Arabic. Here in front of you it says that Allah, he gave Sulaiman a mat which is made from wood, and he placed all the equipment of his kingdomship, horses, camels, tents, troops, whatever he want, and he commanded, and then the wind will go underneath it and will carry it. Alright? And the birds will be shading him, flying in the top of him, and they will be covering him from the sun. I mean, this is amazing, and this is proven by science. And there is no way, if you are a person who who is not is hard to convince, I think you are convinced right now that Muhammad is a true prophet and he have a true story to tell. And actually, there is no way Muhammad is stealing those stories from the Jews, which is a legends which they used to tell their kids before they sleep. But the idiot Muhammad, he thought they are real, and he added them in his book, and he made a story of them, and he made verses about them to expose himself, and he looked like an idiot. However, this is not even my topic, so why I'm talking about this? Even here it says that this flying carpet, like by noontime, it passed what other people need 1 month to pass. You see, this is in the Quran. Alright, its morning was a month journey, and its afternoon is a month. So by morning and afternoon, if you need to travel, is going to take you 2 months. Sulaiman, he need only 1 morning and 1 noon, which means a few hours, to travel in the speed of 2 months using the amazing, beautiful flying carpet. I love it. I love it. And there's no fees, there's no gas, there's no insurance, and you will never fall down, and you will never be worried about the flying carpet falling down or crashing down, because this is made by Allah. I mean, it's not made in China, or there's no way this flying carpet will fall down. And in the top of that, before we forget, even the Quran mentioned that Sulaiman, he have a genie, and those genies, they have a job, and their job is to dive in the water and get him jewelries and pillars. And actually, yes, this is true. My dad himself, he used to own many genies, and they used to dive in the ground, in the sea, and this is how we get rich. Unbelievable, true story. So if you are not a believer, I'm sure now you are scratching your your head, and you want to convert to Islam, but you don't know how. I mean, this is so amazing. Now, this is not even my topic. I don't know why I'm telling you about this. Maybe just to convince you. And even imagine that even the shayateen, the devils, they dive for Sulaiman to get him his need to build for him palaces. The shaitan, he built the palaces for Sulaiman. This is why he have a lot of them. Unbelievable, shaitan. And when they are done from their work, the shaitan or shayateens, satans, when they are done, Sulaiman every night he put them in chains until the morning. which is a beautiful story and must be true story. And the one who don't disobey too, he keep him even in chains always, as you see here, you know. And some of them, they are chains all the time. Now, as I said for many times, this is not my topic. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You might not be able to handle such a beautiful story, and I'm afraid that you guys are going to convert to Islam immediately. But the story today is about Balqis. Balqis, her name is mentioned in the Bible as the Queen of Sheba, and this is the Arabic name. And actually the Muslims are very confused about what is the name. Balqis, Balqas, Balas, there is many names they have for her. And obviously Muhammad, all his stories is nothing but a legend. Now Balqis, for many people who do not know who is she, Balqis, according to Muslims, she is a daughter of a genie woman. Yeah, she is. Now what happened, if we go to Tafsir al-Qurtubi, I'm going to copy and paste in, because sorry guys, this does not exist in English. This is why if you are learning Islam from someone who is an English speaking person, you are missing a lot, because there is no way they can get into this. This has never been, you will never find it in any English book. Alright, so I'm going to copy this part so we can find who is this woman Balqis according to Muslims. You see, I will copy and I will paste in the front of your face. I will take it to Google. Alright, this is Google translation. I will paste and we translate. Now for sure the translation will not be that much accurate, but we have no choice. I'm going to tell you what the story by my own, you know, and you look at the story from the translation so you can make sense of it. Now simply, according to the Muslim stories, Balqis, she was born of a genie, and this genie, simply the reason this woman genie, the reason her father he married a genie, because there is many stories. One of them says that this guy was so proud, he's a king, and he says, no, there's nobody is good enough for me to marry. So they married him from a genie woman because she is powerful, not like normal women, you know. I don't know what she is powerful about. Maybe she is so powerful in sex, maybe she, I don't know what, I mean, why no women fit for him. So he decided to marry a genie. But in different story it says, and this is the most popular accepted story by Muslims, that there was a king, you know, who is he raped women. He raped women, and especially married women. So this king, according to the story, as we see here, he wanted to marry a woman, but he didn't want to be sure that the king will not rape her. And this minister, he was a minister, this man, he was trying to find how he can marry without getting his wife raped, because his king is going to rape every woman she is married, even if she is his wife. And then once he was walking down street and he found a guy. He told him, do you have a wife? The guy, he said no. Then he said to him, why you don't have a wife? He said, because I have a king, he raped every woman she is married. So the man, he said to him, I am a genie and you can marry my daughter, and there is no way he will be able to rape her. First he said to him, I have a daughter, you marry her, there is no way he can rape her. The minister, he said, the father of Balqis, he said, well, no, he will rape her, you know. Then the man, he explained, he said, we are from the genie, all right, and there's nobody can like mess with us, nobody can play games with us, all right, nobody can mess around. So this guy, he married this daughter of this genie, and she gave birth to Balqis. And when she gave birth to Balqis, all right, let us copy this part. And we go back to Google Translation. Just try to make it easier for you. Okay, anyway, so he said, well, this guy, you were raped, even if I marry your daughter. He said, no, we are genie, and there's no way he can marry her. He cannot play with her. He cannot rape her. So she got married, and she gave him a daughter, and this daughter was Balqis. As you see here, the translation, it says Balqis with K. Then this king, he heard of this woman who is so beautiful, the daughter of this genie who married from this minister. So he came and he decided to rape her, because this is his habit. But look what she did. This Balqis, who is a daughter of a genie, when this king he arrived, she sent her slaves to the front door, and she said to him, isn't it a shame that you are a king, but yet you are afraid from a woman, and you are coming with all this army with you? What about you order your army to leave their weapon and stay outside, and you go inside and speak to Balqis. So the king, he agreed. He is so proud of himself, how a woman can harm him. So he agreed to get in, and when he got in, she closed all the doors and she killed him. And some stories, they said, you see in here, she was wearing shoes, and those shoes look, obviously they are very dangerous, and she cut off his shoes with her shoes. She cut off his head with her shoes, and then she threw the head of this man to his army. And when the army, they saw the head of their king between their legs, and she killed him, so they shout Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and they made her the queen for them. I mean, this is a story you cannot find anywhere in the world except in the beautiful religion of Islam. And I'm sure many of you are wondering, if this is Allah and Muhammad are not a prophet and God, how Muhammad in the world he can get such a beautiful story and inform us of such a story happened long time ago, long before Muhammad's birth. And remember always, Muhammad's stories, they have no witnesses, and who dare even to ask for witnesses? You see, when Muslims, they speak about Jesus, they don't ask Muhammad for a witness for one thing he said about Jesus. But when they speak to you about the Bible, they ask you for witnesses, and they ask you for reference, and they ask you for manuscript. But Muhammad, he say any stories, there is no need for manuscript. He can fabricate whatever he want, and the Muslims will take it blindly. Flying carpet, even actually Muhammad in the Quran, he have an army of birds. As you see here, the bird Al-Hudhud, he was a minister, and his job is agriculture minister, and part-time he work as a bird who look for women who have no hair in their legs. I mean, actually I advise you to read the chapter 27 in full. This is one of the most funny, stupid chapters in the whole book. It's called the Book of the Quran. I encourage every one of you to read it. This is one of the dummiest story Muhammad he came with, which is nothing but a bunch of stupid stories. As an example, in the same chapter 27, verse number 18, Sulaiman, he arrived to the valley of the ant, and he heard the ant speaking to her ants. She is saying, hide, otherwise Sulaiman, he will kill you. However, ants don't talk, and they are deaf, and they talk, or they say they communicate in two ways, vibration and chemical only. But the Quran says he heard her speech. With this, our time is up. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and if you like to read more about Islam and science and the amazing stories of the Quran, then I advise you to read my books, especially Quran and Science in Depth. It's full of stories and it's a disaster. Or my other book, The Deception of Allah, and you can find all my other books translated in other languages in Amazon.com by searching for Christian Prince. And thank you very much, and God bless. Thank you.